Greetings, hello, welcome on in, Unoptimized Fool here with another weekly update for you guys. Now obviously World of Warcraft is pumping out content and we're going to cover it. Now we have about 7 articles to talk about. Now before we get into the articles though, let's talk about the spotters, right? It's going to be our guild. Now right now we are inside Retail and Classic Cataclysm. Now as you guys know, inside of Retail we have 11.2 coming out, which we're actually going to talk about the release date today. But we're also going to be eventually raiding in 11.2 when that comes out, and we're looking for more spotters to fill the ranks. We have a couple of shortages here in the new tier, but we are a new raid guild, so it makes sense that we have some shortages. So if you're interested, definitely let us know in-game, or if you want to put it in the messages down below. Now we also have Cataclysm Classic. We have the leveling event we're currently diving into. Now, as of the recording, it's still going on. People have not hit level 85 yet, so technically there is some chance for you to still participate and win, but it's getting a little bit less and less each day. Now, we do have another event coming up when Mists of Pandaria does launch. We have a leveling from 85 to 90, which you'll be able to get a cool pet if you do win. So that one might be in more of your grasps. But I just wanted to let you guys know about those two ecosystems, and but without further ado, let's get right into the news, guys. Alright, guys, the first article I want to talk about is actually a big one, right? It's about housing. Now, as you guys know, in Midnight, there will be player housing coming to World of Warcraft. A feature long awaited is now officially going to be here soon. Now, they've done deep dives in the past, a couple of them, but we've actually been graced with a new deep dive about housing, and I want to talk about it. Now, I do have my handy dandy notebook because, again, lots of details with this stuff. I don't want to miss anything. I will be reading off of it, but it's going to help me, obviously remember all this stuff. So, guys, a lot of new stuff that we learned, right? We have the 2 zones, right? They actually have names now. These are going to be the Founders Point for the Alliance and Razor Wind Shores for the Horde. We've actually got a lot of pictures. Now, again, I always say if you want more information about the stuff we cover here, always check out the articles, but this one especially, there's tons of information in here that it would make this video 50 hours long. Okay, now we know that there's about 50 slots per zone. We already knew this. Now, we actually have some new information about endeavors. This is going to be in monthly events. Now, they're going to work a little bit differently. So, as you guys know, we are going to have either public neighborhoods, or it's just going to be a random bunch of people, or private neighborhoods for guilds or groups, right? Now, in public servers, well, public, areas for the housing, these endeavors will be randomly generated for you. Now, in private, you'll be able to select and vote on which endeavors you want to indulge in. So whatever kind of flavor that you want to dive into, it's fine. Now, what are these endeavors, right? So they're monthly events that are going to be kind of neighborhood-wide group tasks for you guys to complete. Think of like how the renown system works. It's going to be like the renown system. We're going to have a picture up here soon talking about kind of the graphic of that, right? They actually did show us the graphic of this new system, right? So we're going to win decorations, endeavor currency, whatever that means, and neighborhood favor, right? So again, it looks like not only is this housing is just going to be a way to creatively expand your impact on Azeroth, but it looks like it's actually going to be deeply rooted in the community, and also to build relationships, and also mechanics too, right? These things are going to expand over time, and one per month. Think of the trading post, right? And of course too, there's going to be visual changes to these neighborhoods when you have these endeavors. So there's some couple, again, you need to go and look at this article. This is one of those must-read articles of the week. Again, I usually let you guys know which articles that you have to read each week. This is one of those articles, right? But yeah, guys, we got a lot of good information. Now, obviously, as we get closer and closer, we'll know when, obviously, we don't know when Midnight is going to be released. We don't know if this is going to be coming in pre-patch or when, there's a lot of time still to be had between now and when this content's going to be here. So what's your wish list for all this content? I'm super excited, and the fact that there's like mechanics and systems around it makes me pumped even more. Alright guys, this is my weekly yap about the renown inside the raid. Now, as you guys know, there's a renown inside the raid, and it is going to be hitting its final week. Actually, last week was its final week. This week there's going to be no new raid renown to get, so you'll be capped off. Now obviously, if you're not capped off, this is definitely the time to dive into it. Now, what do we get on this rank? Rank 20, the big finale of this thing, right? Now obviously, to get this renown, you have to kill the bosses per week. You get 1 rank per week. Obviously, if you're a little bit behind, there is a catch-up mechanics. You'll get more than 1 rank per week. For example, I missed the last week due to the Mists of Pandaria launching the pre-patch, and I was able to get rank 19 and 20 in the same week. So that kind of just shows you the catch-up mechanic there. Now we get 3 things. 1, high roller title. Now you're going to be a high roller. You are going to add that to your title collection. And also, 2, you get a teleport to the raid. Now, it does have an 8-hour cooldown. So if you want to teleport to the raid on raid night, you can teleport there. No more going into the portal. Again, it's not much of a long drive to the area, but hey, you know, minimizing your running around is a nice quality of life change. And the other thing too, we get a nice mount. Now you do have to pay for it with gold. Thankfully, it's not like, you know, in-game shop money. It's going to be this mechanized dinosaur, which is going to look pretty awesome. So again, a lot of cool rewards. Again, rank 20 is officially here. Now again, this is my last time I'm going to be yapping about this renown, but in 11.2, new raid, new renown, and that one has about 15 levels, so I'll definitely be yapping about that. But yeah, rank 20 is here, and no more ranks to have. Alright guys, the data miners are sniffing yet again. Now I always like to talk about what's coming out. Obviously 11.2 is going to be announced here soon. Again, in this video we're talking about the release date, but I also want to talk about the future of World of Warcraft. We know Midnight's coming, but let's kind of back up here. We just saw internal development servers, meaning that they're, you know, encrypted, we can't get any data from them. We saw 11.2.5 go on to the internal servers for internal testing at Blizzard. That means that most of the internal testing, usually when it goes on PTR, any content that goes on PTR, usually it's done internal testing, but it looks like now that 11.2.5 is internal testing. Now, we don't know anything about this content. Obviously, it's going to expand the story of 11.2, which we don't even know about unless you play the PTR, which is up, by the way. Sometimes I had tried to get some recording done, and it says it was incompatible, whatever, and basically 11.2.5 is already in the works. Now, we do know one thing is coming out in 11.2.5. Again, it's going to be dropping in the fall of this year, around the fall, not exact dates, obviously. It's going to have the 21st anniversary of World of Warcraft. That's the only thing we know it's going to be included. Now, obviously, it's going to also include the story, and we don't know what systems are going to be included. So, but I just want to get you guys some, you know, information there, because again, we're moving along. Eventually, we're going to hear about 11.2.7, and then that's going to be the last content update for the War Within, and the next one will be 12.0, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Again, we can't get any data from this. The only reason we knew about the 21st anniversary is because on the timeline they gave us, that was when it was listed as coming out. So just keep an eye on it, guys. I'll let you guys know if there's any updates. Alrighty, guys, we have some news here. Again, this is actually some content that's going to be launching today. It was kind of a little bit of a shadow drop, right? Now, we've seen this system before, the Winds of Mysterious Fortune. Now, it was that leveling event that gave us plus 20% experience, as well as 100 to about 200%. It varied at certain reputations for a reputation gains. Now, this one's actually running from today to August 12th. So we'll have about a month, give or take, a little bit less than a month, to have this system. Now again, you're going to be getting those satchels from killing mobs inside of dungeons, inside of the open world. That will give you gear for alts, and as well as some currencies too. So, and also some potions to increase XP as well. So this system's coming back. It looks like it was a major success, and that they're bringing this back. And it's already back already. I mean, we just had it. I feel like not just too long ago. Now, again, guys, what's new about this system, actually, they made a change to it. Now, last time, you had Renown reputation be affected by the buff, but the Undermine reputations were never included. However, in this iteration of this reputation and, you know, XP event, Renown for Undermine and the cartels are also included. So if you have some stuff to do, which I still have some stuff to do, now is the perfect time to get it before 11.2 drops. So yeah, I just want to announce that that's dropping today, and it's going to add to the stuff we have to do. We have to do the emissary stuff, the bounties, you know, the increase to the mount chances dropping. I got 2 mounts so far. I don't know how you guys are faring off, but so far 2 mounts, which is pretty good. You know, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, we have a lot of content to suck up. Also, Mists of Pandaria pre-patch. I mean, again, content is rich, so I'm hoping you guys are having a fantastic time with this. Alrighty, guys, here is the biggest news I would think of this week, and we actually now know about 11.2 and its date of launch. Now, this technically came out Monday before last week's episode, but again, Monday is when I record all this and put it all together, so unfortunately, most major news that comes out on Monday is unfortunately not in that episode. Again, it seems like Blizzard does this, and maybe I should move the time of this, recordings, but sometimes it just be like that. But we now know 11.2 Ghosts of Koresh launches on August 5th. August 5th. Now, again, I will be away during this time, but I'll be coming back a couple days after this. So, again, August 5th, this is when this stuff drops. Now, what is actually coming out? Let's talk about this, right? So, obviously, the new zone, Koresh, right? We also have Ecological Succession, which is that open world kind of Jurassic Park simulator, right? It's a new open world activity. We also have the new dungeon, right? Ecodome Aradani. I think that's how you say that. A new dungeon. Again, what's cool about this dungeon, by the way, is that the story guide progresses from the open world storyline, then the raid, then the dungeon. Usually it's the dungeon, then the raid. So they kind of switch it up. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works. We also have, of course, the new story that we're going to dive in and kind of diving into the void a little bit more before midnight. We also have the rescue wraps and phase diving, right? This is going to be the new legendary cloak that we're all going to have to wear. Again, there'll be no other cloak drops in Season 3, which we'll be talking about here soon. So this will be the best in slot, and you can also phase dive, which phase diving lets you get into an alternate reality of Koresh and kill, like, rares, do some other world quests. Again, it's just another way to dive into the content. We also have a new delve, right? This is going to be taking place in the Observe Vaults inside of Dragonflight. It's going to be kind of revamped and have a bunch of ethereals walking around. So it's going to be the first delve that uses old content, which I love. I love this new feature. Now, obviously, Season 3 is what we're going to be talking about next, but this is what's coming live on August 5th. Now, since we're talking about Season 3, let's get right into it. Alright guys, now as my previous self has said, let's talk about Season 3. Now normally, usually the content, like big content drops, drop a week before the new season, and nothing surprising here, it's going to be the same thing. Now on August 12th, Season 3 is launched. Now, what is Season 3? Obviously, we're going to have the new mythic pools that we talked about here on the channel. We also have the new raid, right? So, again, all of that stuff is going to come out. Again, this new raid will have new tier sets. Again, remember, the tier sets are actually based off of our hero class now, so there's going to be 2 per spec, so definitely keep an eye out on that. Now, what's interesting before, in the past, what happened is, the first week of Season 3, you only had access to normal and heroic raiding. And then the next week after that, you had Mythic come out. So it gave, a week for prep, in normal and in heroic to prep for Mythic if you were pushing for Mythic. But this year and this season is now different. Season 3 will be the first season ever to have all 3 difficulties, normal, heroic, and Mythic, coming out on the exact same day. So obviously we'll probably still see some heroic splits from all the major guilds that are running the world's first race, but still, Mythic will be available day 1. Now obviously LFR will have each week have its wing opened, obviously about 3 or 4 wings. Again, that is about the same as last season. But yeah guys, Season 3, August 12th, a week after the big content update, and Mythic is going to be available that same day, so it's going to definitely shake up some stuff. We'll see how it kind of changes the race. I'm not sure if it will, but we'll have to see when it comes out. Alright guys, the last article I want to talk about is a little bit of a speculation. Now we've seen some data mining here talking about potential thing coming in 11.2 in a rework to a system for the banking. Now again, this might be not coming in 11.2, they might be adding some stuff in for a midnight release, or they might cut it at all, but again, speculation coming up here again about the banking. Now obviously our banking system is kind of outdated, it's actually never really been changed. You have your basic slots inside the bank, as well as you can add some bags to it. That will increase your bag space inside of there and your amount of inventory space that you can have in there. Now compare that to our guild bank or our Warband bank, and you can have different tabs that you can buy. Now obviously they get pretty expensive, but it looks like potentially in 11.2, which launches August 5th, or in midnight, again we're not too sure here, we might be seeing the bank get upgraded to these tab system, which will give us a lot more slots. We've seen some achievements be added in to, buy the different, again, just like the Warband Bank or the Guild Bank, you have achievements that will, pop up every time you buy a tab. So again, we've seen this for the bank now, and it seems like they're just updating how much we can store. Because remember, we have a lot of items in this game. We're in the 11th iteration of World of Warcraft, almost to midnight here. And there's a lot of items to store. We have the Guild Bank, now we have the Warband Bank. We do have void storage. I don't like void storage, particularly, but it's there if we want it. That's usually where I keep all my legendaries, by the way. And then, of course, the old banking. But if we update the banking, we'll have, I think, over 700 new slots of storage. So it would be pretty cool to see if this actually gets added in. Again, speculation. Again, we're not too sure. Again, the author of the article also wasn't too sure, but definitely something to keep an eye on, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. Alrighty, guys, that is all the articles we had for today. About 7 articles, mostly talking about the release of 11.2 as well as some housing updates, right? Those are the major things to talk about. But again, I pick all the major things that are, I think, important to talk about and discuss. About 70 articles per week, depending on the week, come out, and I usually try to pick between 5 and 10, right? Again, I always try to pick the biggest information, but if I do miss something that you think is important, definitely let me know and I can include it in the next show. There is stuff that I might miss. Again, tons of articles coming out. Now again, also, I do run an X channel and a YouTube channel about World of Warcraft, and I go into more daily content on that channel. So if you're into more World of Warcraft content and you want to see more than just a weekly video, definitely check out my socials there. And I'd like to thank the spotters for letting me yap about World of Warcraft each week here, and I appreciate you guys. But I am Unoptimized Fool. I'll see you guys next week.